Hello and happy Friday. It is February 4th. I am MJ and this is the general reading for the collective. Today I am using my Grimalkin's Curious Cats. This is the second edition of the Grimalkin Tarot. So this deck, I dropped the borders, I changed some of the cards, kind of gave it a different look. So anyway, let's see what we have going on here, energetically speaking. What are these cats going to bring to us as we move into the weekend? What should we look forward to or be on the lookout for? So the first card serves as the foundation. This is the energy that impacts us. It impacts our mood, how we perceive events, how we react or don't react, how others react or don't react. So let's see what we have here to start us off with. So we're starting off with, I feel like, did we not see this already? We have here this energy of the Five of Cups, and you can see this poor cat is just hyper-focused on these three cups that are completely empty. It just cannot figure out for the life of it why these cups are empty. Why are they turned over? They want what was in the cup, and it's just, you know, it's just a moment of complete sadness for these cats. This cat just can't wrap its head around the fact that the contents are gone, you know, and if only it would just turn its head, it would see that there are these two other cups over here that are just brimming with milk and just, you know, waiting for this cat to take notice. So anyway, here, this energy that is impacting us today may be one where you tend to focus on what you don't have, what is missing, something that you may have had in the past, but you have no more. And because your focus is on something that you can't bring back, something that is not going to change, something that resides in your history, not in your future, you may miss out on an opportunity. You may miss out on connecting with people who bring you joy, or connecting with a situation that fills your spirit, you know, that makes you feel good. So be aware today, right? If your mind starts to drift to this place where you're focusing on what isn't there, right? And it's allowing your feelings to be impacted by this. If it's, you know, if all of a sudden your heart feels heavy, or there's a heaviness in the air, right? If you get yourself kind of into this funk, it's this energy of the Five of Cups that's really making it very easy to do so. It's making it very easy to focus on things that are lost, that are not coming back. And because of that, you may find today might be a difficult day. It might be a very emotional day, right? This may also be a good day to think about areas of your life that you're neglecting that hold promise, right? As you start to recognize, like, oh, wait, I'm focusing on something that I can't control or I can't change, and I'm focusing on something that doesn't nourish my spirit anymore. As soon as you start to recognize that, as soon as that heaviness sort of starts to set in, right? Now is a good time to focus on the things that do fill your life, the things that do hold promise, that have possibilities, that are that reside in the present and in the future, not something that is in the past. So let's see what opportunity is coming our way. Okay, so, you know, in the state of feeling as though you're missing out on something, you know, when you start to look at what's gone wrong, right, or what isn't there, and you start feeling that heaviness that comes from it, it can open up this door to take matters in your own hands, you know, and that's what I kind of see happening here with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords brings you an opportunity to strike out on your own, right? To remove yourself from a group. And, you know, in that group, that might be the source of support that you're neglecting, right? But right now, because you're so deep into the emotions here of this Five of Cups, what you might end up doing is taking this opportunity to branch out on your own, to be that lone wolf or that lone cat in this case. You might see this as a chance to reclaim something that you feel like you lost, right? So this could be a good opportunity if you think about taking action and figuring out how you can rectify something and how you can break away from a group that maybe isn't serving you, right? Or a group that might be not as active as you would like it to be, right? If you recognize that you've lost something and you associate that loss to a group of some sort, you might feel more inclined today to branch out, to say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to go solo here. Thanks, but no thanks, for your help. Be aware of how you proceed. Just, it's fine. It's like, yes, go out on your own. Do what you have to do. But if you go into this with any sort of negativity fueling you, right, you're going to make decisions that may look like that, like that will benefit you in some way, but in the long run, it might not, right? In the long run, you might be looked at as somebody who can't be trusted, right? Or somebody who isn't really focused on the group, and you're just more focused on your individual needs. So yes, this is a great opportunity if you need to break away from other people, perhaps, who are keeping you in a state of feeling lost, or if you need to break yourself away from a group where there's a lot of negativity around the past. But just be cautious, I have a love-hate relationship with this Seven of Swords, because I do like that sometimes, you have to go it alone. Sometimes you have to make the best decisions for yourself. Sometimes you have to do things for the greater good, right? And it might seem like you're going off on your own, but really what you're doing is you're trying to do things a little bit more strategically. And if you're working within a group of people who aren't really that's not really their mindset, right? You might feel like you kind of have to make a break. So let's see who's showing up at the door. The big word that just keeps popping into my head while looking at this card, the Seven of Swords right now, is independence, finding your independence. And even if that means, sometimes you have to do things without letting other people know what you're doing. Sometimes you have to do that. I mean, it's just... Okay, so knocking on our door here is, we have the Seven of Cups. So here comes somebody who's just all full of fantasy, right? This is somebody who, maybe they're a big dreamer. They have lots of ideas. They just, they want to share with you all of these great, fabulous visions that they have for the future. This is somebody who wants you to sit down with them so they can, share with you their dreams, right? This can be somebody who might be looking at a way of getting out of doing something, right? They might be a procrastinator of some sort. This is just somebody who likes to dream, right? And so you might be feeling a bit frustrated by this individual because they might be a bit of a time suck, especially if here you are, right? You have this opportunity. You're kind of like, I want to go. I'm going to branch off on my own. I want to do the thing that I want to do. Really don't want much input from other people. And then you have this person come up, or the situation come up, that draws your attention away from a single plan, right? That thing that you're working on, perhaps in secret. And then you have this situation with this individual who shows up and basically just wants to fill your head with a bunch of fantasy without taking much action, right? They're all about, oh, let's dream really big, which is awesome. We all should dream big. The bigger you dream, the more you can turn that into a reality as soon as you take action, right? The more, or the greater the dream will be when you take action. But this person, I feel like, is just going to end up wasting a lot of time for you, you know, because for them, it's more important to sit there and, you know, daydream about what if, you know, what could be, you know, what would the future look like, you know, but they're not really asking the question of, you know, like, what can I do today to bring this reality, to make this into a reality, or to bring this dream into a reality? You know, they're just more focused on like, oh, what if we did this? You know, oh my God, you know, like everyone has that person, right? And they're like, oh, what if we did this? What if we opened this business? What if we tried this? But they're not really into taking that first step to get there. So be aware of how the Seven of Cups may come in and derail you or take away some of that momentum that you might be building with the Seven of Swords. Even though, yes, the Seven of Swords can lead to moments of being deceived, you know, devious or to deceive some people, perhaps. I'm not seeing that with this energy today. What I'm seeing is a situation where you're recognizing that something needs to change. You got kind of sucked into feeling down, or you felt a loss that was out of your control. And now you have this opportunity to break from a group, perhaps it's keeping you in this state of loss, right? A group that maybe is so focused that they're keeping your focus there on what they can't change. A group perhaps that is looking, you know, backwards instead of forwards. And here you have this opportunity to claim some independence, to break free, to make your own decisions, right? And although it might go against the group and people might see you as cutting corners or, you know, circumventing the rules in some way, right? Sometimes you have to do that, just saying. And then we have this person who comes in who's kind of like, la-di-da, I'm a dreamer, and I think they're just going to be nothing more than a time suck. They might present some interesting ideas, but unless there's action being taken with those ideas, all it's doing is just wasting time. Okay, so let's see what the overall advice here is. Indecision. Okay. So you really don't know what the future is going to hold. I mean, that's like a pretty blanket statement, right? Nobody knows what the future is going to hold. But here with your situation, you might be feeling a little more uneasy, right? You might be feeling a bit more uncertain, like, oh, you know, when I do break away, when I claim that independence, when I make that move to do something that perhaps is done in secret or, you know, under the cover of darkness here, as I'm trying to break free from this emotion of the Five of Cups, you might find yourself second guessing if the choices that you're making are going to result in some sort of pain. So that might prevent you from fully realizing your potential. It might prevent you from really seizing this opportunity for independence. You might also consider the consequences of some actions. If you are doing something that that saying, it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission, right? You might know deep down that you will be asking for forgiveness later on. And that might kind of create some inaction. You might hesitate to move forward. So you're going to have to tap into that intuition of yours. Really think about your situation. Think about all of the parameters, right? Think about all of the relationships within that situation. If you're already dealing with people who are focusing on a loss, or if this situation is centered around some loss that needs to be released, and you want to sidestep others, or if you want to do something on your own, you might need to, just sort of take a step back and evaluate everything, right, before you make any big final move. Again, though, this person who's coming in with their dreamy eyes, they may end up clouding the water a little bit more too. So just be aware. I feel like with this Two of Swords, yes, that is that is your inner risk assessor, and it's saying, hey, just take a moment. You don't know all the facts just yet, right? Slow it down there, tiger, pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to the emotions that surface here with this Five of Cups. Pay attention to those around you. Are they going to, see your actions as being overly negative, right? You might think, well, it might not be such a big deal for you, but maybe to someone else, they might see this as a betrayal of some sort. So just be aware. But I feel like with this Two of Swords, because everything is so uncertain, right? There's this chance, there's a high risk here that you might do something that in the end you may regret. So just be cautious with what you do. Pay attention to the signs, pay attention to your intuition. Although you might not see what's, hovering or what's below the clouds here, let your intuition guide you, right? Let that inner risk assessor determine if the risk outweighs the reward, or the reward outweighs the risk. And whoever this is, I don't know. Just be cautious of people who fill your head with fantasy or crazy ideas that are never going to come into reality. So much love to you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.